Hey all, welcome back to Crazy Gamers Models. How you doing? Excuse me. Yes, here we go again. I know you've probably seen this once on my channel before. It's the Spitfire HF Mark 8. But if you've been following my review videos, I recently put up one about the BF-109 F4 and the BF-110, and then I've done some Tempest, and all in 1/48 scale from Eduard. These are for a diorama for a client. He wants 4 planes. He wants a Tempest or a Typhoon. We haven't decided yet. A BF-110E. This the BF-109 F4 with all decked out with both big Sin kits. You can check out the review. I just posted it. And then now he also wants a Spitfire. He didn't say which mark, so we picked the Mark 7 because of what I'm about to show you. Um, so he got all this stuff together, and I finally received all of it. I'm just waiting on whatever he wants to do with the 110. He hasn't decided yet. So this is the Mark 7. I've already did a quick review of the kit itself, but now I'm going to review all the goodies. So this is going to be decked out like the 109F is, with all the goodies. So we'll get the book out and we'll see how these goodies go together. And we'll look at the plastic one quick time. But here's the goodies we have. We have landing flaps, surface paneled. We have a cockpit door with or without the crowbar. We have the cockpit. And we have the fantastic Spitfire engine. So we'll look at all that in a minute. Let's just take another quick gander at the sprues here. Yeah, we've looked at these. So we looked at these in a previous review. So we're just gonna go over the upgrades here. Also, I have the HGW water transfers. These aren't it. These are it right here. The water transfers. I don't want to take out this top paper. These are a better type of decal for this kit. Here's the instructions for the water decals right here. And then, it comes with the kit comes with PE and regular decals, PE cockpit, but we have another cockpit. And I also got some mask for the camo on it, for the camo design. So that's that. And we'll put the plastic sprues back in, and because the only thing that we're probably going to be keeping from the plastic is the fuselage and the wings and maybe some little parts. But let's take a look at this cockpit first, because I'm sure that's the first thing you build in this build. Yeah. So the first thing you open up to when you want to build this is the cockpit. So we're going to take a look at the cockpit here. And we're going to see what we have here. Because if you watched my BF-109, the detail on that resin that came with those big Sin kits was incredible. Alright, so we have, here we go. Here's the internal walls for the cockpit. As you can see, full of detail. Gorgeous. We have what appears to be the floor of the cockpit. And then we have the PE detail. It's a little bit different than the PE that comes with it, but it's mostly the same. Little levers in cockpit, and seat belts and whatnot. And then we have all the different, you got the two different cockpits where you can use the decals or you can use the photo etch on the flat one. You have the bulkheads, all the different bulkheads here. And then you have just different various little pieces that add detail. So there's that. So I'm going to be building these, and I'm going to be doing just build updates like I'm doing with the Panther that I'm building, where I work on it, for a week or two, and then I post a video on my progress on it. But the Yag Tiger is still going on. If you saw my last video on my Yag Tiger, there's a lot of ejector pins that I need to deal with, and it's going to take time. We have the seat. Appears to be, I'm not sure, it looks like gun barrels, but I know it's not. Different oxygen tanks. Almost lost that one. I don't know, that may be fire suppression. But there are tons of little bitty details. Another one of those pieces there. Now remember, guys, when you work with resin's toxic, so you need to work with it with a mask or work with it wet. I'm gonna have to use a mask because I'm gonna use a Dremel with a razor saw to work with mine and in burrs, because I was hand cutting some resin for the Yag Tiger, and I'll be honest with you, that's for the birds. It's not something I want to spend my day doing, and then the cleanup on it is nasty, so I'm going to stick with using the Dremel. Alright, well, let's take a look at how these go together. So we got, basically, this is all the plastic here, and if we look at this, alright, we got A, B, C, okay, so we got it, and D is going to go right there. So, first thing we do on this one is we build the instrument panel, and then we do the headrest where we have to check our references. Seriously, I lost my pointy thing. Oh, there it is. And then we're going to do the rudder pedals. Oh, this is still part of A. Oh, so A. Then you got the rudder pedals, and then this is going to be part of this. And then this C goes in there. So basically, you start with the bottom here. You put in this bulkhead, and then to make this bulkhead, you have to do this. And then you do this part here. I don't understand where this blue is PE, I believe. I don't understand. Oh, okay, I see it. This is the rudder pedals going in, okay. And then you have this piece going in, and then there's your flight control stick. And then you got a flight control stick here. This has your seat on your first page. It's a 3-part. It looks like a larger bucket seat, maybe for a larger person, but the seat on the rest of the seat's pretty small. And then we have, I believe this is the gun sight here. And then we have the seat going together. Some more on the front of the seat. We have the seat belts, which will go on after we paint it. Then we have the rear bulkheads. And then we have the seat going down. And then we have, the seat belts going on. And now we're building up those two side panels. And we're adding not sure what that is. We have the oxygen tanks. And then we're going to glue it into the cockpit, the fuselage. And if we look at this, basically all this is getting replaced. Yeah, this whole section here is, I don't think any of this whole first 2 pages gets used. And then you come, and then when you get to here, this is probably going to be what you're going to be using. But we have another, we're going to stop here in the book because we have another kit to look at. We have I just make sure I put my resin away because it breaks pretty easy. We have the Spitfire engine. Yay, another engine. Let's see what we have here. Let's get the instructions out. Then we have PE mounting frame, basically, is what the PE is. Here's all your cowlings that are super thin. I want to show you one of these cowlings. How thin those cowlings are. They're gorgeous cowlings. Go around the engine that you can leave open. There's a lot of modifications that need to be made in this. Here is your engine. It has gorgeous detail, and then it has more detail that you add to it. You have to cut the gate off. There's 2 more pieces of the detail here. I think that's the supercharger there. And then that is probably the bulkhead assembly for it. The rear bulkhead for the engine. Then we have the exhaust here. Various exhaust that is molded with a divot in it. So you take a wash and look authentic. And then this bag, I'm not going to open this because it's going to take too long, is just chock full of supports, braces, just different, looks like carburetors, just different pieces for the engine to detail it out and make it look nicer. But if you look at the engine here, the engine's instructions, you have to make a lot of modifications to the fuselage before you put it together. At least that's how the BF-109 was. Alright, so we have putting the engine together, steps 1, 2, 3, mostly using all the resin components, and appears to be nothing from the plastic kit. And then it shows you, they do have part lists on the back of this sheet. Okay, so now we have the engine going on that rear bulkhead. We have some lines and hoses going in, Okay, here we go. Here we go, hacking up the plastic. So we have to cut this front section off of the fuselage here, and then we also have to take out this dip section here in the in the in the bottom of the wings. And then some more resin support arms go on, and then now some of those cowlings you have to place to attach certain parts. Okay. And then we have it going onto the bottom of the wing in the fuselage. So you'd be putting the fuselage together at this point here before the engine's fitted. So you'd be at this, you'd have to have this done. But it appears it doesn't want you to put these wing pieces on yet. And then on the other side, it has you glue it on some pieces. And that's it for the engine. It doesn't show you how the hatches would go on opened or closed, which I thought was odd. Okay, it doesn't show you that, so I guess you would use the hatches it came with for this part. And that is all the resin. So now we have the landing flaps and the surface panel. Which is, surface panel is one sprue of unpainted brass photo etch. I'm a big fan of Eduard. I'm in love with their kits. So we're doing the surface panels now. Let's take a look at what we have here. Okay, so we have template A, B, C. I'm not sure about this. It's got pieces that go in the door. I guess this is for scribing out the spots hatches go. Because it has you putting on the template, taking it off, and then adding photo etch detail to have the hatches open or closed, apparently. That appears to be what's going on. Let's pull out a piece of fuselage. Let's see if we can pull out this wing section here. See if we can see what this is on about. Okay, so I guess it's saying on these wings, like, this appears to be template A right here. You can remove this and replace it with a piece of photo etch, which is piece 20. That's definitely not the panel, because piece 20 is tiny. Unless they're talking about doing all these surface details, because it looks like those are there. And like some half circle ones. Like here's one here. This could be E. Which piece is E is 12? Oh no, there's two E's. So it couldn't be that one. Yeah, there's one of the half circle ones right there. And there's the other half circle one. These are all the circle ones, apparently. This is crazy. This is crazy amount of detail you can do to one of these. This looks like H or G right here. This mark right here. And this looks like J. This little flip up cap. And here appears to be an L. And then probably some of these on the tail fin here are some. I'm going to have to find a reference to where all these are. I bet you it's on the back. Yeah, it's on the back right here. Should have looked at that first. So basically it points out all the different spots that you can put this photo etch surface detail. That's pretty amazing. That's going to be fun. I just got some burrs in for my Dremel, and well, this is going to be awesome. So that's the surface detail set. So let us close that up. Wing back. Now let's look at. So that's going to have to be done probably before the wings are put together and the fuselage is put together. So that's going to be probably one of the first things after the cockpit or before the cockpit. There is your landing flaps. And your ailerons going on. Air intake. Okay, I guess you have to remove the flaps from the wings here. So you're removing the flaps from the wings and then you're putting on these flaps. In the landing position, I would assume. So, that's the landing flaps. And then, last thing we have are the cockpit doors. Let me just show you these really quick. Alright. Super thin. One with the crowbar, one without the crowbar. I'm doing the one without the crowbar because in the surface detail one, there is a photo etch crowbar. So that's what I'll be using on that. So that's basically it. And then we have the water slide decals, which are just a better quality decals of what is already in there. Oh, look at this. It comes with some decals for the door. That's cool. Can't quite make out what they say. So this is the upgrades for the Typhoon, or the Spitfire Mark 8. That's going to go with the BF 109 fully upgraded, and then in the background is going to be a BF 110 and a Tempest, most likely crashed and mangled pretty bad, because that's what he was talking about. So once we get everything in and we get a line on how we're going to build it and what it's going to look like, I'm going to explain what we're going to do for the diorama and how we're going to build the planes, and what schemes we're going to pick and things like that. So, because we want them all around the same year. So, this one's 44, 43, March of 44, February of 44. Because we want all the planes basically in the same theater. So, that's what we're going to work on. So, that's going to be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, visit me on Patreon if you so choose to. For Crazy Gamers Models, I am the Crazy Gamer. You have a fantastic day.